contingent we have. Excellency. International Convention Center when we held a state dinner in honor of the president of the African Development Bank Group. And today is, please can we have the boss move out? Thank you. Please let's start. Thank you. Please, may we remain standing. May we now have the national anthem. I'd like to invite Reverend Mrs. Emme Afia for a prayer.
Our Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you. We give you honor and praise for what you have done today. We thank you for the rain, O God, that has come as a blessing. And we thank you for the groundbreaking ceremony for this industrial processing hub. Father, we ask, O God, that it will be a blessing to Cross-Riverians and Nigerians in general. Father, we ask that it blossoms, oh God, in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Father, for in Jesus' name we have prayed. Amen.
Thank you very much. Please, you may. Thank you. Please, you may be seated. Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Senator Prince Bassi Otu, the Governor of Cross River State. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Peter O'Day, PhD, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State. Right Honorable Elvet Ayambem, the Honorable Speaker Cross River State House of Assembly. Your Excellency, Alfonso Ondon Chama, the General Consul of the Republic of Equatorial Guinea in Calabar. Divine Tambe, the Charge Affairs, Cameroon Consulate, and other members of the Diplomatic Corps. Dr. Kinwumi Adeshina, the President, African Development Bank Group, and his dear wife. Senator Mustafa Olaleko, Honorable Osman Zena, and other eminent personalities on the delegation of the Vice President. Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Idi Mukhtar Meha, the Honorable Minister for Livestock Development, ably represented by Dr. Uyobong Uko, the Chief Veterinarian Officer and South-South Regional Director, Federal Ministry of Livestock Development. Distinguished Senator John Owan Eno, the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. Your Excellency, Colonel Pam Oga, retired, former military administrator, Kwara State. High Chief Edem Duke, a former Honorable Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, High Chief Higgins Peters, and other elder statesmen here present. Honorable Sylvester Agabi, the Deputy Speaker, principal officers, and other honorable members from the Cross River State House of Assembly here present. Beth Donford, the Vice President, African Development Bank, and other members of the African Development Bank Group delegation. Dede Eko, the Country Director, International Fund for Agricultural Development. Alphonsus Oga Eba, Esquire JP, the State Chairman of the APC, and other members of the State Working Committee. Honorable Emmanuel Ayomba, the Chief of Staff to His Excellency, the Governor. Members of the Cross River State Executive Council here present. Obol Dr. Innocent Eteng, the Head of Service, Chairman and Vice Chairman of Local Government Councils here present. Senior Special Advisors and Special Advisors, Ray Admiral Ayo Olugbode, the Hydrographer of the Federation and CEO, National Hydrographic Agency. Service Commanders, Your Eminence, Edidem Ekbo Basio II the Fifth, the Obong of Calabar, Chairman of Boards, Agencies, and Commissions here present, Dr. Bong Duke, the Vice Chairman and CEO, State Planning Commission, Arise IIP, and all the development partners here present, Permanent Secretaries, Directors General, Your Royal Majesty, Elder Solomon Osim, the Chairman, Cross River State Traditional Rulers Council, and all the Royal Fathers here present. Reverend Dr. Takis Etem Keifas, the State Chairman, Christian Association of Nigeria, CAN, and other religious leaders here present. Imam Kabiru Oluwolayemo, the Chief Imam and Chairman, Cross River State Muslims Pilgrims Welfare Board. Other top government functionaries here present, members of the host community here present, members of the fourth estate of the realm, ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you. It is my utmost pleasure to welcome you to the groundbreaking ceremony for the design, build, and operate of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Hub here at the Diabo Community, Calabar, Cross River State, Nigeria. Your Excellency, may I seek your hospitable courtesy to invite Reverend Victor Edet, the Senior Special Advisor on International Cooperation and Investment, for a welcome address.
Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCO and Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Senator Prince Basi Ededutu, Governor of Cross River State. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Peter Ode, Deputy Governor of Cross River State, Right Honorable Albert Yambem, Honorable Speaker, Cross River State House of Assembly, and honorable members, permit me to stand on the existing established protocol. It is with great honor and humility that I stand before you here to welcome you to this groundbreaking ceremony, a historic moment that marks the beginning of a bold and transformative journey for Cross River State and Nigeria at large. Today's event is more than a ceremonial turning of the soil. It is a turning point for our agribusiness landscape for future generations. It is for us in Cross River State, this project is not just about infrastructure. It is about impact. It is about lifting our farmers from subsistence to prosperity. It is about transforming rural communities through access to modern agro-processing facilities. It is about creating a value chain ecosystem where our cocoa, rice, and cassava will not only be cultivated, but also be processed, packaged, and sold with value. This program is designed to unlock immense potential for our agricultural value chains, reducing post-harvest losses, attract private sector investment, generate employment, especially for young people and women, and to ensure adequate food security. We are especially proud that our state is a home to one of the selected agro-industrial hubs, strategically located here in Adiabo, close to Tinapa, with the coverage of the Tinapa Free Trade Zone license. This hub is complemented also by the Agricultural Transition Center in Okuku, Yala, local government area, all geared towards connecting production to processing and markets. Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we are deeply honored by your presence today. Your leadership and unwavering support for initiatives that drive inclusive economic growth and national food security continue to motivate stakeholders across all levels of government. Your being here underscores the importance of this project, not just for Cross River State, but for the entire nation. We thank you for your commitment to Nigeria, for where agriculture is the driver of prosperity and shared progress. This milestone will not be possible without the visionary leadership of His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, Prince Basi Ededotu, my boss, our leader, whose commitment to agricultural transformation is unwavering. We are also grateful to the African Development Bank under distinguished leadership of Dr. Akinwumi Adesina for their financial and technical support. Your belief in the potential of agriculture in Africa continues to inspire hope and action. To our development partners, technical teams, and our stakeholders, we thank you for standing by us and walking us through this journey of transformation. As we break the ground today, we are planting the seeds of a prosperous future. Let us nurture them together with dedication, integrity, and resolve to deliver lasting results for our people. Thank you all for being here today. May this groundbreaking signal not just the beginning of the design, build, and operate construction, but also to build a legacy that will feed, employ, and empower generations. Thank you and welcome to Cross River State, the people's paradise, the place where Sweet Prince has made life very, very sweet for all its citizenry. Thank you, Your Excellencies.
Thank you so much, Reverend Victor. Please, may we give him a round of applause for that. Your Excellencies, a very distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen, before we take on the next speech, we would like to project a video that gives an expose into the Special Agro-Processing Zones SAPZ programs. Let's take a look.
the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone SAPZ, an initiative of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration.
This sector will boost agricultural productivity, enhance export opportunities, and stimulate economic growth by fostering a robust value chain that benefits farmers, processors, herders, distributors, and consumers alike. And I believe the prosperity is here.
With the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, leading the charge as mandated by Mr. President.
That Nigeria stands the essence of partnerships in sustaining the dreams and promises that has brought us together here. This is why we are already collaborating with institutions such as the African Development Bank, the World Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IPAD, the Islamic Development Bank, and the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, to achieve food and nutrition security in Nigeria and beyond. With the invaluable support of our partners, we are exploring innovative strategies to transform this quest for food security into a thriving enterprise.
Through the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari CON.
Nigerians expect so much from us, and Mr. President expects much more. We cannot afford to let them down. I urge all of us to approach these discussions with openness and shared sense of responsibility. Together, we will lay the foundation for a successful SAPZ program that will not only address the immediate food security needs of our nation, but also position Nigeria as a leader agro-industrialization in Africa.
And Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, with partnering organizations to support inclusive and sustainable agro-industrial development of Nigeria, is aimed at diversifying the economy through agriculture and reduction of food import bill.
The Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program is a pace setter that will determine developed and developing countries in Africa in the near future. In Nigeria, it is a partnership between the federal government of Nigeria, African Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development to support inclusive and sustainable agro-industrial development. It is domiciled under the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security as a cross-cutting platform to attract private sector investment into value agro-processing that will unlock opportunities of improved food security, rural poverty reduction, increased export earnings, but most importantly, increased contribution of agriculture to the national GDP.
According to the coordinator, SAPZ adopts 3 models of making agro-value chain a one-stop shop.
The SAPZ model is segmented into 3 phases of ATCs, the Agricultural Transformation Centers, the AIH, the Agricultural Industrial Hub, and market linkages.
Apart from diversification of the economy, it is aligned with achieving about 8 SDGs of no poverty, no hunger, forging partnership, gender equality, climate action, and sustainable production.
The SAPZ has an array of benefits to Nigeria. First is the diversification of the country's economy with agriculture, improved food security, reduction of forex capital flights to import substitution, increased employment, but importantly, the transformation of rural communities into secondary cities. Different from other programs, the SAPZ touches an array of the SDGs. SDG 1, no poverty, reduction of poverty by improvement of livelihood of citizens. SDG 2, zero hunger. SDG 5, gender and equality, but importantly SDG 17, partnerships. As you can see, the partnership between the federal government, the African Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development. In the phase 2 of the program, you would see other partnerships, including the partnership with Badia and other development financing institutions that are going to come in.
The journey of SAPZ continues as a bedrock for economic development.
Thank you very much. Permit me now, Your Excellencies, to invite the one directly in charge of coordinating programs for SAPZ, the National Programs Coordinator, Special Agro-Processing Zone SAPZ Program, Dr. Yusuf Kabir, to please step forward and make his remarks. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he does so.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Vice President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCON, Your Excellency, the Governor of Cross River, Prince Basi, Otu, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor, Your Excellency, the President of the African Development Bank, Your Excellency, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, the Honorable Minister of Industry, the Director General of the African Development Bank, the Country Director of IFAD, the Senior Special Advisor to the President of the African Development Bank, the Vice President of the African Development Bank, Your Royal Highness, members of the State Assembly, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Vice President, please permit me to stand on the existing protocols. It is indeed nostalgic to be honoring the groundbreaking event of SAPZ. The journey was far and complex, but the vision was strong enough to keep us pursuing against all odds. Indeed, we had the backing of visionary leaders, a gift from God and a luck for Nigeria to have these leaders at the helm of event. Your Excellency, Vice President, please permit me to revert to some key personnels in the already established protocols. These three sons of the soil are the highest level of authority, each having SAPZ close to their heart. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, your esteemed self, who took the pains to make his first mission as Vice President for SAPZ and for agriculture to Rome, if you recall, Your Excellency, during the IFAD food system event. Then all the way to the World Food Prize, Iowa, together with the President of the African Development Bank, they secured additional funding for the phase 2 of the SAPZ to ensure that other states benefit from the SAPZ. Your Excellency, you have been a bridge builder for the SAPZ in ensuring that we deliver the SAPZ on time. You had earlier requested that we provide you with weekly updates centering on progress and bottlenecks to ensure that you use your good office to unbottle them, which you have. Importantly, is the subsidiary loan agreement for Ogun, which you ensured that it was signed. And thanks to you, IFAD had already disbursed to Ogun, and the African Development Bank has moved into Ogun State. Secondly, Your Excellency, the architect of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone program, His Excellency, the President of the African Development Bank. Your Excellency, Mr. President, congratulations. God loves you. To have a dream and for that dream to come to reality in your time, and to have collaborators in government at the helm of events to support that dream. Your Excellency, it is from God. Congratulations for this day. As the Vice President noted day before yesterday in Kaduna, that he could pay to listen to you. Unfortunately, I don't have that amount yet. But at any interval, I have been able, or I was able to get that opportunity. I left a much more knowledgeable man. Your Excellency, I remembered some keywords you told me. I took a courtesy visit to Abidjan right after COP27 when we met. You said, Kabir, come and see me. And I came. You said these words 3 times in your office, at the corridor, and when you bid me goodbye downstairs. You said, remember, God put you there for a reason. God put us there for a reason. It is for the poor people, for the poor farmers. Do not fail them. And that has kept me and my team going. Your Excellency, Vice President, the third person, my boss, most distinguished Senator Abubakar Kari, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, in fact, the first Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, because the rest were Ministers of Agriculture and Rural Development. Your Excellency, it is worthy of note that since the coming of the minister, he has not only ensured that SAPZ fast track, but he is the only minister that has never declined any proposal, any request coming from the SAPZ office. I think he deserves a round of applause. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I would please request a multiple ovation clap for these 3 individuals. Cross Riverians, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the dream and promise of SAPZ is not a mirage. It is a platform that will distinguish developed and developing countries in the next few years in Africa. A pace setter in the global economic platform, and this administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has made it possible for Nigerians. Though in absentia, please, a round of applause for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The project development objective of the SAPZ is to support inclusive and sustainable agro-industrial development. It is a platform, a cross-cutting platform to attract investment into value-added agro-processing to unlock opportunities of food security, rural poverty reduction, increased earning of agriculture into the GDP. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in pursuant to actualize this vision, this administration has made it possible, and now SAPZ is on autopilot. It is worthy of note that we have onboarded all the transaction advisors across all the 8 states of the SAPZ. What is a transaction advisor? If you have infrastructure and a zone without investment, you have a stranded asset. Your transaction advisor is supposed to ensure that investment comes into the zone. His job is to structure that transaction, support the design build operator to build the zone in such a way that it will attract investment, in such a way that it will be like a bride for investors. Lastly, Your Excellency, to the unsung heroes of the SAPZ, whom for the past 2 years have worked tirelessly to make this groundbreaking possible, and many more to come within the following months. My team from the National Office and the State Office, my colleagues from the African Development Bank, those from the Islamic Development Bank, and International Fund for Agricultural Development. We have come a long way. We have agreed to disagree on methodologies for the fastest, most efficient, and compliant way possible to deliver the SAPZ. The band remained intact because we had a singular program development objective and we understood the assignment, which is to deliver the SAPZ to work for us, to work for the benefit of the good people of Nigeria. Your Excellency, before I close this, I would like to send our sincere gratitude to His Excellency, the Governor of Cross River. I have had the opportunity to meet all the governors of the participating states. I can say for a fact, he was the only governor that I didn't have to go back twice. He embraced, though he didn't start the SAPZ, but he embraced it like his own. Above and beyond, he ensured that he was part of the front-runner governor. From Kaduna, now we're here at Cross River. Your Excellency, congratulations to you, and to Cross Riverians, your governor wants what is good for you. Thank you very much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, have a good occasion.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Yusuf Kabiru. Again, please can we put our hands together for him? Thank you. Your Excellencies, moving straight to the good messages, and because of the weather condition, we'll take just 2. And for each speaker, you have 2 minutes to do your goodwill message. Your Excellencies, at this point, may I respectfully invite the Obong of Calabar, His Eminence, Edidem Ekpo Okunobasio II the 5th. He is the Grand Patriarch of the Folk Kingdom, the defender of the Christian faith. While he's making his way, please, like Dr. Abdul Kamara. Dr. Abdul Kamara, please, I'd like you to come up as well. Once His Eminence is done with his goodwill, you will take your turn. Dr. Abdul Kamara is the DG of the AFDB. Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the great country, Nigeria, who is here with us in this groundbreaking ceremony. Your Excellency, my own governor, and my son, Prince Basiedero II, who is here for the groundbreaking ceremony, the Deputy Governor of the state, equally my own son, who is here. Please permit me to uphold the existing protocol and say this. When the Tinapa project was put in place, it still happened here and we were all happy. And we prayed that it should hold and be sustained. It worked. But along the line, maybe due to the planning and the procedures carried out by the people, it didn't work out the way it should have been. But today, here we are, with this great team of people coming in here. Our Greek processing zone is something that every one of us have been looking forward to. Let me thank Dr. Adeshina, who is a friend, and for all his proposals, the African Development Bank, that all African countries should key into the agri projects and get back such that the people will be happy and will be fed accordingly. Today is happening here in this country again. I watched the Kaduna aspect of it and I was so delighted. And when today it was mentioned that it will be here, then suddenly the skies turned around and I thought the vice president wouldn't make it. But I'm happy that whatever happens, God is in control. And he made it. And all I'm saying is that we pray for the people, this country. Let us think of doing things for the good of the people, the good of the other generations that are coming. This project is a lifetime project. And I pray that God Almighty will keep us alive, sustain us, and give us the enablement to follow it up and make sure it succeeds in the states where it is today, and in all other states that it will go to, because Nigeria needs to feed itself. We don't need to be buying food from outside any longer. We are blessed with everything, and I'm happy that we have leaders now who now think of the people, who sacrifices whatever they have, their time and all, to make sure the people are happy. May God bless us. Thank you. And God bless everybody here.
Your Excellency, Senator Kashim Shettima, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Your Excellency, Prince Basi Otu, Executive Governor of Cross River State, Your Excellency, President Akinwumi Adesina, my boss, President of the African Development Bank Group, and Mrs. Adesina, Honorable Minister Abubakar Kyari, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, and other ministers present, Honorable Minister of Industry, Your Royal Highness, permit me to stand on existing protocols to say thank you for giving me the floor to say a few words at this momentous groundbreaking ceremony. I am very delighted to witness this momentous occasion here in Calabar today, which I consider myself as the happiest person, a day that we have been counting down towards very eagerly, a day that marks the groundbreaking of the implementation of the Nigeria SAPZ program nationwide. Of course, we were in Kaduna 2 days ago. Perhaps all of you will wonder why I consider myself the happiest person today. Well, when President Adesina decided to move me here in Nigeria, for those who don't know, my last station was Ethiopia. As Deputy Director General, I was covering 14 countries. This is a little over 6 months ago. He was very clear, and he said, Abdul, see that you unlock and untangle every impediment that is delaying the implementation of the SAPZ program in Nigeria. This must be your top priority among the $5 billion operation that you have in Nigeria. And I know you can do it. So, Excellencies, for me, the marching order was very clear. It was very instructive and definitive, leaving no room for failure and leaving no room for excuses. So here we are today, barely 6 months down the line. The long-awaited dream is being realized. Realized under my watch, realized, of course, as a teamwork for all of us. Your Excellencies, the steady progress of the SAPZ program they are witnessing today is for sure not a personal one. It has been an outcome of the hard work, well-structured support, commitment, cooperation, but more importantly, coordination along the entire spectrum of the ecosystem on the government side at every level, federal and state, and on the side of the bank, as well as our partners, the International Fund for Agricultural Development and the Islamic Development Bank. At the bank level, we have been working very, very hard, Vice President, all my team, but permit me to single out one person, Professor Oyebanji Oyelaran Oyeyinka, who has worked harder than any one of us. And please, let's give him a big round of applause. I am also opportune to have received the direct support of His Excellency, the Vice President, Kashim Shettima, who has taken a personal interest in this program and the program that has now become a presidential initiative. I have received similar unreserved support from the Honorary Minister of Finance, the Federal Minister of Agriculture, and several officials, including the governments at the state level. So, Your Excellencies, with this support, I have no doubt that going forward, the implementation of this program will now be a smooth sail. This groundbreaking ceremony today and our ongoing work to support farmers at other levels. We have the NAGS, which is $134 million, supporting farmers to produce wheat, maize, rice, and others in several states in the north. We also have the ATAP. So a lot is going on. The SAPZ program is going to tie all these bits and pieces together to take Nigerian agriculture to the next level, bringing a complete end-to-end to our value chain approach, and to transform Nigeria's agriculture and the rural landscape into zones of economic prosperity. Let me close by congratulating the selected contractor for this work and to say that the clock is ticking and we are all yours. We are there for your support. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so very much. Your Excellencies, Cross River State is known as a gender-friendly state. And please permit me to stretch just a little bit further to invite Dede Eko, the Country Director, International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, for a 2-minute goodwill message. Please, can we put our hands together for her? Thank you so very much. And please, I'd like to insist that you have 2 minutes for your goodwill message. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this commitment to gender balance. Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Excellency, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Honorable Ministers, Your Royal Majesty, the Excellency, the President of the African Development Bank, allow me to stand on the existing protocol and take into account the time constraint to just say and extend our congratulations to Your Excellency, the Governor, Senator Prince Bassey Ede Otu, for your dedication and commitment that made the way for this launch of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone in Cross River State, after the very successful groundbreaking event in Kaduna. I also want to seize this opportunity to commend the federal government of Nigeria under the able leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, for its ambitious vision and strong leadership in driving the SAPZ, a driver, a catalyzer of agricultural modernization and agri-food system transformation. In Nigeria, but also, especially today, we are celebrating the impact that SAPZ will have in Cross River State. I want to also highlight that the high-level representation of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to this momentous groundbreaking event by the effective presence of His Excellency, the Vice President Kashim Shettima, represents a clear and strong indication of the high priority given by the Federal Government of Nigeria to SAPZ. I would like to seize the opportunity to thank and congratulate His Excellency, the Vice President Kashim Shettima, for his unwavering commitment to the transformation of agriculture and the sustainable economic empowerment of smallholder farmers. I want to appreciate the outstanding leadership of the African Development Bank in steering the implementation and the effective coordination of SAPZ in partnership with all the funders, IFAD and the Islamic Development Bank. Allow me to just highlight that IFAD is lead for component 2 of SAPZ, agricultural productivity, production, and market linkage, as well as value addition. It is important to note that in Kano, for example, we have already ensured the empowerment of 1,000 farmers and build partnership between these farmers and the existing agro industry. In Cross River, our ambition is to work closely with SAPZ partners and to build synergy between SAPZ and livelihood improvement family enterprise in the Niger Delta. This is a program that has empowered 26,000 youth and women agripreneurs across the Niger Delta and 4,000 agripreneurs in Cross River. This program has been successful thanks to the leadership of the federal government, the Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, and also the support of the Minister of Finance. This support has been critical in having IFAD approve phase 2 of Life ND. This phase 2 will allow us to scale up the benefit of this program to 100,000 farmers. This is just to say, as the DG of FDB in Nigeria here just stated, SAPZ will bring all of this program together for a transformational impact. I wish to seize this opportunity to extend our deepest gratitude to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, for ensuring the timely counterpart fund disbursement to the Life ND program. Excellency, the Executive Governor, this shows your outstanding commitment to agricultural modernization for youth and women agribusinesses, and for inclusive economic growth in Cross River and beyond. IFAD wish full success to the SAPZ program in Cross River and reiterate our commitment to work closely with all the partners for the successful impact. I would like here to reiterate our appreciation to the Honorable Minister of Food, Agriculture and Food Security that has been championing our involvement in SAPZ. Thank you so much for your attention, and yet we appreciate the time that is given to us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Dede Ekwor. Please, another round of applause for her as she takes her seats. Your Excellencies, our very esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will be taking a very special remark from one of our own for just 2 minutes. He is a son of the soil, a well-bred parliamentarian, and the Honorable Minister of State for Trade and Investments. Please, let's put our hands together as I now invite Senator John Onwaneno. Please, let's put our hands together for him.
Your Excellency, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, Your Excellency, the Governor of Cross River State, Senator Basi Ededo II, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, the President of the African Development Bank and his dear wife, the Speaker of the House of Assembly, the members, my colleague, the Minister of Agri and Food Security, our development partners, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Let me start by noting the fact that very early, after my assignment from the Ministry of Sports Development to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment as Minister of State in charge of industry, one of the early callers was Professor Oyebanji, the Senior Special Advisor to the AFD President on Industrialization. At that meeting, Professor Oyebanji very profoundly shared with me the concept and the subject of the SAPZs. I was very quick to ask where Cross River was. And Professor Oyebanji explained to me that Cross River was among the top 2 or so states on the SAPZs. And I think that the greatest indication to the fact that he wasn't playing politics with me is the fact that just the groundbreaking that started in Kaduna 2 days ago is taking place in Cross River State today. I'd like to praise and to thank the leadership of the governor of Cross River. And I do this especially because it is not at all times that you find Cross River playing so significantly. But the leadership of this governor has been able to get Cross River State back to center stage and back to what is going on. For the president of the African Development Bank, I remember that in Kaduna, you had noted particularly the fact that the minister in charge of industry was present at that groundbreaking. And you did so for obvious reasons. This project has gone through quite a lot, but I'm glad to report that today the Ministry of Industry and the Ministry of Agri and Food Security are working together to secure the food prosperity of our countrymen and women and to see the extent to which this can crystallize into industrial growth and development for our country. If you look at examples of all countries around the world that have achieved industrialization, you would notice that they've had to progress from agricultural growth, progress and development to attainment of industrial growth and prosperity. So it's important that everybody understands and appreciates the fact that this event is actually going to crystallize food security and industrial growth. If you are a minister in charge of industry and you're looking at Mr. President's 8-point agenda, and Agenda 7 speaks to the acceleration of diversification through industrialization, digitization, creative arts, manufacturing, and innovation. And a project like this comes up, you would support it with every might that you got. Let me thank the continuing leadership of the Vice President on this project. And let me say, for example, that Nigeria as Nigeria will not attain economic prosperity without getting its industrial base right. Early in the year, the Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council was in the news indicating the fact that in 2024, that the export of cocoa beans and fertilizer was the next in terms of Nigeria's export proceeds in terms of non-oil. And my challenge to her was the fact that we should get to a point in which we're not just celebrating the export of cocoa seeds and cocoa beans and primary agri products. We should get to a point in which we'll be celebrating the export of the processed agri products out of our country. Let me say that the special agri-industrial processing zones are the instrument through which we can achieve this. As a ministry, let me say that not just the SAPZs, but the fact that all the special economic zones are a delight to the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, because these become the hub upon which we can actually respond and answer to the challenge of industrialization that we keep having. If you look at our GDP, industry's contribution to our national GDP is still in the minor. I think that the SAPZs remain that platform that we can achieve this. Again, I thank the president of ADB. I was in Morocco at the last African Investment Summit that was spearheaded by the FDB, and I think that the president sat on that room when the investments for the next set of states was supposed to come on board. And I think before the end of that session, close to about $2 billion was committed. And in a meeting I had with him in the office, he got reports that the commitments had climbed up to close to about $4 billion. That is a testament to the leadership you've continued to provide. Thank God that after you left the Federal Executive Council, you became the president of ADB. That is the fruit that we are here reaping today. And my hope is that at the end of the day, Nigerians will come to understand and to appreciate that our country's growth, development, and progress and food security was provided answer by the special agri-industrial processing zones. Thank you for this, and thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, distinguished Senator John Uwaneno, the Honorable Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment. Thank you, sir. Your Excellencies, at this point, we'd like to bring to the podium a man who is committedly joining hands with Mr. President to ensure food security in our dear country. At this point, Your Excellency, permit me to invite distinguished Senator Abubakar Kyari, CON, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, for a special remark. Please, can you put your hands together for him? Thank you.
Your Excellency, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, Your Excellency, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, Senator Prince Basi Edet Otu, the President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adeomi Adeshina, and other members of the African Development Bank here present, and that of the Islamic Development Bank, and that of IFAD. Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, my friend Peter Ode, my colleagues, distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly. As you can see, we're a majority here, including the Vice President and His Excellency, the Governor. And also my brother, Honorable Minister of State of Industry, son of the soil, Senator John Owen Eno. Your Royal Highness, the Obong of Calabar, the Right Honorable Speaker, and members of the House of Assembly, Your Excellency, the Vice President, please permit me to also recognize, as being a former Chief of Staff, the Chief of Staff to His Excellency Emmanuel Ayomba, and also as former Commissioner of Agriculture, Commissioner I want to recognize also the Honorable Commissioner of Agriculture and members of the State Executive Council. And also as a former party man, the Deputy National Chairman of the great APC, I also recognize the State Chairman of the APC, Barrister Alphonsus Oga Eba. Your Excellency, then from here, permit me from this point forward to stand on the existing protocol. It gives me great pleasure addressing you today on the groundbreaking ceremony of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zones, SAPZ, in Cross River State today. This program is set to transform the way we approach agriculture and agro-industrial development in Nigeria under the renewed hope agenda of the visionary and dogged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Importantly, I would like to also sincerely express my gratitude to His Excellency, the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, for his leadership and political backing at the highest level on the implementation of the SAPZ program in Nigeria. I also extend my appreciation to His Excellency, Senator Prince Basi Otu, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, for his commitment and doggedness in ensuring that Cross River State is among those two front-running states that will commence the construction of the agro-industrial hubs. You may recall just a few months ago, I was here in Calabar, in Cross River State, where we launched the 2024-2025 first phase dry season of the National Agricultural Growth Scheme, Agro Pocket of the African Development Bank of the wheat planting season, where Cross River State became the 16th state wheat cultivating state in Nigeria and the first in the southern part of the country. And this is a big achievement. So I'm very happy and glad that I'm here again. And Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security, Your Excellency, is very grateful in your efforts in supporting its food security mandate. The development of the SAPZ program by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security in strategic partnership with the state governments, relevant ministries, departments, and agencies, the private sectors, and with major support from the African Development Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, and the Islamic Development Bank, that will transform the agricultural landscape of Nigeria. The SAPZ is a dedicated agro-processing area within major food production clusters, equipped with desirable ultra-modern infrastructure to attract private sector investments in modern agro-processing of locally produced crops, livestock, and other related agribusiness activities. The program is designed to commence with 8 locations of Kaduna, Kano, Cross River, Kwara, Oyo, Ogun, and Imo states, and the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, in the first phase. The final process to onboard additional states for the second phase of the program is almost completed. These and many more will strengthen Nigeria and Nigeria's agribusiness ecosystem to respond more efficiently to the challenges of our time. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this groundbreaking event today for the Cross River SAPZ is another giant stride in agricultural investment activities in Nigeria. The SAPZ program is not merely an agricultural initiative, it is a catalyst for economic growth and import substitution. As we invest in agro-processing development, we are investing in the future of our communities. The success of the SAPZ program is rooted in partnerships. We have the partnerships between the federal government, state governments, And international financial institutions like the African Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, whom I was elected just recently to be the vice chairman of the governing council. It's a testament of the shared commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, in advancing Nigeria's agricultural sector. Together, we are pooling resources, expertise, and innovation to create a sustainable agro-industrial ecosystem that benefits all. Talking of forging partnerships, I would like to single out yet again an individual, a brother, our own and a continental champion of the SAPZ, President Adewumi Adeshina. You have pushed this dream for a very long time against all odds. I am happy we are breaking this ground together, and I'm happy that SAPZ is no longer a mere dream. It is now a reality. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, together we can transform Nigeria's agricultural landscape into one prosperous, sustainable, and resilient. Together, we can cultivate a brighter future for our agricultural sector, empower our farmers, and uplift our communities. Such transformational stride speaks to actually exactly what President Adeshina spoke to us in Nairobi a couple of weeks ago. He mentioned, and I'm sure you all know what a baobab tree is. It's a huge tree. Alone, you cannot wrap your hands or arms around a baobab tree. You must join hands and then circle that tree. I will leave that, and I plead with President Adeshina that when he comes to speak, he once again tells us that story because it's very inspirational, and it's about something that we all emulate and join together so that we can succeed and continue to deliver the dividends of democracy to our farmers and to Nigeria as a whole. Thank you very much, and may the Almighty God bless you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Senator Abubakar Kyari, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. Please, let's put our hands together one more time as he takes his seat. Your Excellencies, esteemed guests, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to invite a Nigerian foremost economist with more than a decade-long track record as a serial entrepreneur, the 8th elected president of the African Development Bank, Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina, CON, to please step forward and make his remarks. Please, let's put our hands together for him as he takes the stage.
Senator Kashim Shettima, GCON, Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, my dear brother and friend. His Excellency, Senator Prince Basi Edet Otu, the Governor of Cross River State, my dear brother, and thanks for your wonderful hospitality since we arrived here. His Excellency, Right Honorable Peter Ode, Deputy Governor of Cross River State, my dear brother, Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, the Honorable Minister of State for Industry, my dear brother, Senator John Ono, the High Chief Edem Duke, former Minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, we were in cabinet together, Rear Admiral Ayo Olubode, Hydrographer of the Federation, Your Royal Highness the Obong of Calabar, and all other royal fathers here present, all government functionaries, senior government officials, my dear wife, Grace Yemisi. But I just want to really thank, before I start, an incredible team of people that have made this the possible, and you listen to Dr. Kabir. And when I please call your name, stand so you're recognized. My Vice President, Dr. Beth Dunford, Dr. Martin Fregana, Professor Oyeyinka, who has been the driving force behind this effort we see today, my special advisor, Dr. Abdul Kamara, my Director General for Nigeria, a very, very dynamic Director General, the National Coordinator of the SAPZ, Dr. Yusuf Kabir, the Country Director of IFAD, and the Country Director of the Islamic Development Bank, the ARISE IIP and All Development Part Course. Here at home, Mr. Victor Edet, these people are the ones that have really worked to do what you see here today. Please give it up to them because they have been incredible. Thank you all very much. I am delighted to be here today for this landmark groundbreaking ceremony for the development of special agro-industrial processing zones in Cross River State. I wish to congratulate you, Your Excellency, Governor Bassi Otu, for your incredible leadership, vision, dedication, passion, and tenacity that have led to this historic groundbreaking for the development of the special agro-industrial processing zone in Cross River State. 2 days ago, I was together with His Excellency, Vice President Kashim Shettima, and Governor Uba Sani in Kaduna State as we did the groundbreaking of the special agro-industrial processing zones for Kaduna State. And here we are again today in Calabar to do the same. How exciting. We are on a journey of good news across Nigeria. It is indeed the beginning of a new dawn. The special agro-industrial processing zones is bringing good news to Nigeria. State governments and local governments. Good news to farmers, agribusinesses, and all rural areas of Nigeria. Good news of jobs and wealth and prosperity with agriculture as a business. I wish to commend the federal government of Nigeria under the able leadership of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for the strategic partnership that we have together with the African Development Bank for the development of these agro-industrial processing zones in Nigeria. The presence of His Excellency, my dear brother, Vice President Kashim Shettima here is a clear testimony to the vision and the strong support that the federal government of Nigeria attaches to the special agro-industrial processing zones. And I'd like to especially Your Excellency Vice President, Mr. Vice President, you have been there. You have been the promoter. You have been the facilitator. You have been the one that has given a lot of impetus behind this. Please give it up to the Vice President. And also, I have noticed in Kaduna, it rained. And here we are, it rained. And that's the reason why I said the hydrographer of the Federation is because it appears that wherever His Excellency Vice President goes, you bring rain. So maybe you're a rainmaker. Give it up to our new rainmaker today. I wish to express my deep appreciation to all the members of the Federal Executive Council who have helped to make this initiative possible. The Honorable Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Kiari. The Honorable Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. And in particular, my dear brother, Honorable Minister of State for Industry, the son of the soil here, Senator John Eno. The Honorable Minister of Livestock and the Honorable Minister of Environment. Thank you all for your efforts. Please continue to work closely together to make this a success for President Tinubu and a success for Nigeria. With the way in which you spoke, Minister of Trade, of Industry, and the way in which the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security spoke, literally you touched my heart actually, because I think you wiped away tears of a very, very, very long time. May God bless both of you for the way in which you are working together. That is exactly how it has to be. And I say this because you are bringing new hope. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not here, but I'm sure when he looks at the tape, he will be happy. Because that's what it's about when you work together and you unleash new hope. I say this because when I was Minister of Agriculture in Nigeria, I worked so hard to develop these paper crop processing zones. what we call today the special agro-industrial processing zones. The reason was simple. I was convinced that Nigeria must industrialize its agricultural sector and process and add value to all of what it produces to deliver wealth for farmers across the nation. Unfortunately, because of institutional inertia at the time, we were not able to launch these zones because at the time the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Investment were not working together with us to be able to do that. Even then, we had developed 14 staple crop processing zones for 14 states. We were not able to do that. We were not able to launch them. Nigeria lost in the process. And that loss continued for the past 13 years, denying Nigeria of the platform it needed to become a major player in value addition for what it produces from its agricultural sector. Of course, I was sad. It was painful. I was very disappointed. But I never gave up. I only prayed for a new time to come, a time of refreshing when we would wipe away the agony of that disappointment. And here we are today. We must always do the right things for Nigeria. We must always put Nigeria's interests first. People will leave, but Nigeria will remain. We must forget the things behind and for the great future of Nigeria before us collectively. For Nigeria must thrive, and Nigeria's rural areas must be awakened. With the abundant arable land, cheap labor, and vast agroecological zones we have, Nigeria should not be importing food. Nigeria should be completely self-sufficient in food and a significant exporter of food and agricultural commodities. By taking advantage of the special agro-industrial processing zones, Nigeria will now have the infrastructure and industrial platform to transform all its food and agricultural commodities. What a day we are celebrating today. The special agro-industrial processing zones will reduce food imports, conserve foreign exchange, expand local production and processing of food and agricultural commodities, strengthen the Naira, and attract significant private investment in agricultural value chains. The SAPZs will also revive and transform rural economies and create millions of jobs. So today, the gospel of good news of the special agro-industrial processing zones has reached Cross River State, and its governor, who happens to be an apostle, Senator Basi Otu, is its chief evangelist. This governor is sharply focused on new economic opportunities for the state, diversifying its economy and driving for self-economic reliance through agriculture as a business. Cross River State has a significant role in the agricultural transformation of Nigeria because it has vast the production of cocoa, palm oil, plantain, rice, and bananas. Its Obudu Ranch alone can turn the state into a huge livestock producer. Cross River State is also ideal for the special agro-industrial processing zones because it has an export processing zone, port facilities, export handling capabilities, and packaging centers. Its Bakassi deep sea port will turn the state into a logistic hub in Nigeria and for the whole Gulf of Guinea. The special agro-industrial processing zones in Calabar right here can be easily linked to the seaport for transport of processed agricultural commodities to export markets in neighboring countries, including Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. And welcome to the Consul General for Cameroon. The African Development Bank, as you know, we have been spearheading this together with our partners, which includes the Islamic Development Bank and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, and we have put together $934 million from the African Development Bank with co-financing of $938 million from these partners. Currently, as you have heard, we have 27 sites in 11 countries, including Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Guinea, Liberia, Madagascar, Togo, Ethiopia, the DRC Congo, Mozambique, and Mali. The refreshing time has come, finally, for Nigeria. The first phase of the development of this, as you have heard from the Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, will be in 8 states. He has already listed those states: Cross Rivers, Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Oyo, Ogun, Kwara and Imo states, and the Federal Capital Territory. We are delighted with our partnership with the Islamic Development Bank and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, because together we have put together a financing package of $510 million to make this work. We expect in the second phase of this to mobilize $2.2 billion to be able to get this to work for 28 states across the Federation with several partners, including the Arise IIP, the Arab Bank for Economic Development in Africa, the Africa Import-Export Bank, Sahara Farms, BPI France, Africa 50, and the U.S. Development Corporation. Now, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, would like just to reiterate here the 5 points that I made earlier about what are needed to make sure that these special agro-industrial processing zones across Nigeria continue to work and be sustained. One, strong political will that we have. Mr. President is strongly supportive of it, and we please give it up to the President. You just had him on the screen. And second is that you are there, Mr. Vice President. You have been a great inspiration for this initiative. You are there in Kaduna. You are here today. And in almost everything that we do, you are always there. Mr. Vice President, you're a great man, and I want to thank you very much today. Second, there must be continuity of government policies. Policy reversals which each administration presents uncertainty to investors. And right here in Cross River State, I want to thank the governor. You know, the former governor, Governor Ayade, was the one that we started this work with. And when he came on board, he didn't say, well, that was something for the old, the former governor. He embraced it. He liked it. He put his ideas on it. And that's why we are here today, because you are a good governor who does not play politics with policies. And that's why policy continuity is here. And I want you to please thank this governor. And that's how we should be doing it all across the country. Politics is politics. Policies are policies. Let's make sure we are not constantly reversing things. It's like you're building a house and constantly breaking redoing your foundation all the time. Third, I am delighted again with the cross-ministerial collaboration. And I want to thank all the members of the Federal Executive Council for that. But what you saw today with these two ministers, the Minister of Agriculture and the Minister of Trade, it's not something that is common. People fight for turfs. But these are great men. They are not fighting for turfs, and they are collaborating. I think that's something that we have to continue. I also want to say that the Bank of Industry and the Bank of Agriculture will continue to play a big role, and they should be supported. As I close, let me just say that today is a big day for Cross River State. Today is a big day for Nigeria. With the special agro-industrial processing zones, farms will thrive across Cross River State in every local government. Food and agribusinesses will be here, and they will move to Cross River State. The rural areas of Cross River State will boom with economic activities. The Cross River State will mark itself out as a leading center for agro-industrialization in Nigeria. Today, good news is reverberating right from here. The good news of the special agro-industrial processing zones. The good news will resound to all corners of Cross River State. Let the good news port say to all corners of Nigeria. Congratulations to you, Your Excellency, Governor Basi Otu. Congratulations to you, the government of Cross River State. Congratulations to the good people of Cross River State. Congratulations to the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. President and Mr. Vice President. Now let the showers of blessing be here, and it is here. For a new dawn has come, a time for a fresh start, marked with immense opportunities. May God bless this work. May God bless Cross River State. May God bless Nigeria. And I would like, before I say my last thank you, with the special permission of Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, if we may just rise for 1 minute, not even just to rise, because I want us to do the baobab thing that the minister asked us to do. The baobab tree is a very, very big tree. If you want, you can put your hand around it yourself, you can't do it. But if you put all the hands around it, you are able to succeed. That's the power of partnership, of network, or working together to do big things. So the special agro-industrial processing zones is like a baobab tree. We're all going to put our hands around it, from the federal government to state government to local governments to private sector, to make sure that this works. So please join your hand to the person next to you, except the vice president, or if he chooses to. Let's say the special agro-industrial processing zones. We transform Nigeria. Now let's look at it as a baobab tree. At a baobab tree, and let's do it together. Raise your hands up and let's do it. God bless everybody. Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President.
Thank you so very much. Please, you may be seated. Thank you. Thank you, the President of Presidents. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Indeed, these are good times for Cross River State. What a moment to be a Cross Riverian.
That's not this. Come to your left, small.
Thank you so very much, sir. Thank you. Thank you so very much indeed. Please, you may have your seat. Thank you. At this point, Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I most respectfully invite the leader whose phenomenal giant stride in agriculture can be likened to the late Premier of the Eastern Region, Sir Michael Okpara, a passionate builder of a sustainable agro-economy, and the people's first governor, His Excellency, distinguished Senator Prince Basi Otu, the governor of Cross River State, to please step forward and make his remarks. Your Excellency, sir. We welcome Your Excellency.
Yeah, Calabao. Please be seated. Be seated, please. Yeah, Calabao. Yeah. What a great day. We give God all the glory. Your Excellency, distinguished Senator Shetim Kashima, DCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and Maoga. When I say so on good standing. Apart from the fact that he's also a son of Cross River, he did his youth service corps here, and knows every nook and cranny of the state, from Ogoja right down to Calabar, to Bakassi. Oga, you're most welcome. Your Excellency, Right Honorable Peter Ode, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State. Right Honorable Albert Ayambem, the Honorable Speaker of the Cross River State House of Assembly. Permit me to recognize the #1 banker in Africa, the President of the African Development Bank, Dr. Adesina, and of course his very beautiful wife, who was able to grace this occasion, and all his team that came with him from ADB. Let me recognize Senator Mustafa Olaleko, Honorable Usman Zena, Senator Abubakar Kiari, the Honorable Minister of Agriculture. I want to also specially recognize him. He was my chairman in the party. He did so well. I thought only a party man, but when it came to government, agriculture in Nigeria has changed. It's taken a completely different dimension. the Honorable Minister of Livestock Development, who is here with us, I will not fail to recognize our own Senator John Owaneno, the Honorable Minister of State, Federal Minister of Industry. Distinguished Senator, Honorable Minister, you are most welcome back home. We don't know whether we'll allow you to go back with the Vice President because there are issues of state to answer here. Your Excellency, Colonel Pamoga, the former military administrator of Kwara State, who is here with us. Your Eminence, the Obong of Calabar, Didemekboko Nobasi, Utu the Fifth, and of course his very beautiful queen, and the whole cottage that is here today. High Chief Adam Duke, former Honorable Minister of the Federal Republic, High Chief Higgins, and of course all other statesmen who are here. Honorable Sylvester Agabi, Speaker, principal officers, and of course all members of the House that are here with us. Bert Dunford, the Vice President, African Development Bank, and other members of the delegation. Alfonso Sogaiba, the chairman of the greatest party in Africa, Cross River State Chapter. And of course, all the working committee members. I saw Deputy Chairman, and of course, all others who accompanied him here. Honorable Emmanuel Ayomba, the Chief of Staff, members of the State Executive Council, Obol Dr. Innocent Eten, the Head of Service, Chairman and Vice Chairman of Council, who are all here with us, Senior Special Advisors. I will not fail to recognize the Chief Hydrographer of the Federation, Rear Admiral Ayo Olubode, Chairman of Boards, Agencies, and Arise IIP, our very serious development, one of our very serious development partners, who is represented here by Mr. Suren. I just hope he's somewhere here. Service Commanders, Permanent Secretary, Director Generals, Your Royal Majesty, Elder Solomon Osim, the Chairman, Cross River State Traditional Rulers Council, and other royal fathers of the day, religious leaders, top government functionaries, members of the host community here present, members of the press corps, ladies and gentlemen. Today marks a watershed initiative by my administration in establishing the renewable resource base of the state by fully utilizing agriculture and its multiple value chain. It is an incontrovertible fact that the extractive industry, which embodies oil and gas exploration, quarrying of solid minerals, mining of rare earth minerals, etc., has a definite quantum to be extracted before it's exhausted. What is left behind includes dry oil wells and deep craters in mine sites. But the arable land with bumper yields that accompanied agribusiness remains renewable every passing year, defying depletion. This is the wonder nature holds in store for human beings to live and also to thrive. This paradigm shift from non-renewable to renewable resource base also holds the key to the prosperity of many nations. Hence, an imperative to join the League of Subnationals in Nigeria that adopts agriculture as the mainstay of its economy. This sustainable agriculture is one of the offshoots of the state green economy. For us in Cross River State, the establishment of a cluster of smallholders farmers in staples and cash crops, such as rice, cassava, millet, cocoa, oil palm, etc., across the state is a right step towards the agro-industrial revolution. Besides, the farmers are engaged in mechanized agriculture. Since the financial resource that accrued to the state is negligible as compared to the requirement for the establishment of both the special agro-industrial processing zone and the agricultural industrial hub, there is need for the private sector partnership. To this end, the African Development Bank, in collaboration with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security and the government of Cross River State, have found a strategic tripod team to drive these projects. The deliverables of the envisaged projects are food security, diversification of the state economy towards export-oriented trajectory, an increase in the state product, our GDP. When these projects are fully operational, there is an expected robust collaboration with reputable agro-based research institutes, universities, etc., from specialized research fundings aimed at accelerating breakthroughs in many agro-industrial production lines. There are therefore possibilities of commercializing these findings among national and international clientele. To ensure the smooth operation and evacuation of finished products from the special agro-industrial processing zone, some integrated structures have been earmarked. The proposed Bakassi Deep Seaport, the Calabar-Budu Rail Line, and the Obudu Cargo Passengers Airport will serve as seamless corridors for good evacuation to other parts of the country and the Gulf of Guinea. For power support services, the combined 653 megawatt capacity generation from the Tinapa Power Station and the Niger Delta Power Station at Dikon Yung exigencies. From the foregoing, Cross River State is poised to utilize what she has to achieve what she needs. In order to compete favorably on the economic chessboard of Nigeria and the West African sub-region in general, the state is on the move economically. And there is no better time to break forth than now. I will not end my speech without at least mentioning a few names. I think on our first, on the lineup of mention will be the Vice President. The Vice President canceled about 3 appointments to be here today. I think this will go a long way to show how committed he is. He chairs the National Economic Council. I know the agility. I know the strength. I know the alacrity, the doggedness that is injected into the renewed hope agenda as we are seeing here today. Some of the institutional challenges, as were earlier mentioned by the President, are not very easy to surmount. But he has the intelligence, he has the capacity to navigate this very rough terrain. Because naturally, there are those who want to shoot, no matter how beautiful the idea is, shoot it down. But he is one gentleman that you cannot. And I believe that he's doing a lot, so much, to make sure that the renewed project of our President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, comes to total fruition. The Vice President, Cross River State, would ever remain indebted, as we want to host you another day very well. Today, you're just coming and you're running to Kwara for another event. So we will not have time today. But we are going to invite you specially so that you know that you have all the rights as a citizen of Cross River State. I think I'm saying this with Obama of Calabar as a witness. As you quickly add to that picture, the President of the African Development Bank. For those who are familiar with this bank, they will know that his coming has actually changed the impression about African Development Bank. In my days as a banker, we knew African Development Bank just as a deal place. But today it's very clear that those things have changed. How I wish he's given another 5 years, Africa would have been the better for it. I know that God has time for everything. What we are doing today is something that he has proposed many, many years back in a smaller platform, though the country is big, Nigeria. But today, God has given him the opportunity to do that on a bigger platform, which is, of course, almost the whole of Africa. And what I'm saying, almost all presidents, the African countries, are wishing that there was a way to extend his term further. Well, Dr. Adesina, we love you. We appreciate what you're doing. It is true that by September, you'll be going, but your legacies will remain. I will not want you to leave the bank and go too far. In whichever way, please continue to contribute. Because not too long, not just Nigeria, but the African continent will be liberated in terms of independence. If you're not economically independent or sovereign, you are a beggar nation. But I thank God, because with the coming of SAPZ, Nigeria, the economy is emerging. The economy is emerging. In less than about, call it, from my calculation, in about 10 to 15 years, Nigeria will be one of the nations to talk about. Let me, in that breath, quickly also recognize the Minister of Agric. He has worked tirelessly, both in terms of policy changes, shifting of grounds, because of cultural peculiarities, because of differences of state and situations, to make sure that some of these things are put in a way and manner that it suits some particular states. It's quite a difficult job, some people will not understand. But the minister, I want to say congratulations. You are doing quite well. Cross River State will continue to have you in prayers, and we'll give you all the support that we can. The other person I want to also recognize in this line very quickly are those who were recognized earlier by the president himself. Those people have worked tirelessly. The DG, Dr. Kabiru, our own here, Reverend Victor Edet, and of course the rest of the team. Particularly in these last days, if they tell you they've been sleeping, it's a joke. And the Arise team, we've not been sleeping. It's been round the clock, 24 hours. It's been round the clock, back to back, back to back, back to back. I think after this event today, I might go and find some sleep, because at least we've achieved the purpose. To you, I want to also say congratulations. We thank you, we owe you. Anytime you come in, you'll enjoy as a full citizen of And then the rest is to thank each and every one for coming through. The weather decided to bless us today. That is how Cross River is, because we really do not mind things. But I'm so happy that each and every one that has come out today has shown that zeal and commitment. We've come, this event is very successful. I want to assure you that within the next 3 years, you will not know this environment again. You will not know this environment again. To President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who for the first time in our country, we have a president that is addressing the fiscal aspect of a responsibility of a country by making sure that productivity counts, by trying to make sure that whatever, no matter how small the farmer, it's able to put on the soil, at least the proceeds gets to him largely. He has strengthened some of the policies, which I will say, yes, where country is passing through real pains. But every country, in order to grow, there has to be sacrifice. Almost all countries in the world, let nobody deceive you, pass through similar exercises, pass through similar strains and pains like this. If we can sustain it, definitely we'll be happier for it, because Nigeria is going to be a better country. The era of freeloading has passed. Now you have to work, whether you like it or not. But I want to thank God for Cross River State, because under my very humble leadership, we are beginning to change the attitude. We are beginning to change the attitude. Even though our esteemed guests, I'll assure you that we are truly in a season of sweetness. It was very difficult when we came in, and we handed over the state to God. Today, things are coming down. The prices of food are beginning to bar. Things are beginning to fall into place. If you look at faces, you will see very sweet and handsome faces all around the place. It wasn't like that when we came in. Today, people can sleep very peacefully. And we have everything what it takes to move this forward. We truly applaud this program. It was the wicked, what I would call the weak link that we needed to fix, the jigsaw we needed to fix to move. And we thank God that it has come. We know that from the DBO, we are going to achieve whatever we want to. Once more, thank you very much, and God bless all of you. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. Indeed, the pride of Cross River State.
The man with the Midas touch, and of course the progenitor of the People's First government in Cross River State. You are the pride. We boast ourselves in you and all of the beautiful achievements you have achieved in the past 2 years. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Indeed, it is a very historic moment in Cross River State, and we are so happy that this is happening. It is also a very historic moment, not just for Cross Riverians, but also for the people of Nigeria. We thank all our partners, and of course the state government and the federal government for making this possible for us and bringing this to Cross River State. Thank you very much. May please be seated. Your Excellencies, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, just to remind us, the Cross River State has an acronym, or rather the state Calabar has an acronym that says come and leave and be at rest. And just as His Excellency had earlier said, the state has experienced very peaceful coexistence. It is also a state that has a very nationalistic view, and we are happy for it. A very peaceful state. And we can't say thank you enough for His Excellency for making that possible. In the few years he has been governor of Cross River State. Your Excellencies, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is very humbling for me at this point to invite a man I'll describe as a son in our soil, a leader who has demonstrated exceptional commitment to promoting international cooperation and addressing global challenges. His dedication to driving economic growth and development has been very expressive. May we please rise as I invite His Excellency Alhaji Kashim Shatima, GCON, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, to please go ahead and make his speech.
Kindly sit down, please.
Your Excellency, my brother, the Executive Governor of Cross River State, Senator Prince Basi Edet Otu, Your Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Cross River State, Dr. Peter Ode, the President of the African Development Bank, my brother Dr. Akinwumi Adeshina OON, and his amiable wife, Grace Shiemisi, and other members of his delegation. The Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, the Honorable Minister of State for Industry, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the Right Honorable Speaker of Cross River State House of Assembly, and other members of the State House of Assembly, His Eminence, the Obong of Calabar, Edidem Ekpo Abasi Otu, the Fifth, and other eminent royal fathers present here. I would like to weaponize the Chief of Staff to the Governor, a very veteran politician, to recognize and appreciate all members of the Cross River State Executive Council, including the Commissioner of Agriculture, because I was once a Commissioner for Agriculture. The National Project Coordinator, Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone, Dr. Kabiru Yusuf, the Country Director of the International Fund for Agricultural Development, Ms. Dede Ekwe, former Military Administrator of Kwara State, Colonel Pam Oga, retired, my boss, the Chairman of the APC, Cross River State, Barrister Alphonsus Oga Eba, High Chief Peter Higgins, and all the elder statesmen present here, Cross River Security Council, all development partners, senior government officials, gentlemen of the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's glad to be back home. Calabar is home. This is why some 36 years ago, I cut my teeth in public service when I served the compulsory National Youth Service Corps with the Calabar branch of the defunct Nigerian Agricultural and Cooperative Bank, now Bank of Industry. As rightly captured by His Excellency Governor Basi Etu, I crisscrossed the nooks and crannies of Cross River State. And that year was one of my most productive and most peaceful years of my life. The people of Cross River are very hospitable people. And Calabar is an ancient town with a rich history, as far back as the 15th century. It was the first capital of Nigeria before the capital was moved to Lagos in 1906. Your Eminence, I'm a proud son of Calabar, and I'm glad to be back home. What is more exciting than the promise of a vibrant agricultural value chain is the step towards its fulfillment. And this gathering is one for the history books. There is no intervention more practical in our dream of a nation, while the potential of agriculture is maximized, than what has brought us together today. The groundbreaking ceremony of the Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone. I'm more than honored to share in this collective ambition of the nation. We gather in Calabar, Cross River State today to breathe life into the construction of the second Special Agro-Industrial Processing Zone within the last 3 days after Kaduna State. And it's indeed a promise well kept by both the federal and state governments. This isn't merely to mark the commencement of a flagship project, but to celebrate a vision of agro-industrial growth and sustainable development for our dear country. This noble vision is in pursuit of the renewed hope agenda of the administration of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Calabar is an enduring reminder of the immense potential that agriculture and agro-industrialization hold for our dear nation. It is a strategic location to process the produce of our agricultural resources and to reposition the sector as a critical component of the economy, as well as a source of livelihood for millions of our citizens. It is pertinent to mention that Cross River State, with a land size of 20,156 square kilometers, is the largest state in the South-South sub-region. You can drive for 2-3 hours from Calabar to Odukpani, to Akbangwa, to Ugeb, to Ikom, to Ogoja before you can leave Cross River State. It's one of the longest states. And it's rightly captured by President Adeshina. Obudu Cattle Ranch. Obudu is God's gift to the Nigerian nation. Obudu and Mambila can supply the livestock needs of this country. And for far too long, we have endured challenges such as inadequate access to finance and market, limited infrastructure, and a substandard agro-processing environment, all of which have hindered the growth of our hard-working farmers. This laudable initiative is designed to address these challenges head-on. It is a bold step towards transforming our agricultural landscape. Each of us here is aware that dedicated zones for agro-industrial processing are not only avenues for innovation and technology. They are platforms for our farmers to collaborate with private investors and entrepreneurs. They are the engines of sustainable agribusiness linkages that will lead to increased productivity. These zones will generate thousands of jobs. They will create opportunities for young people, empower them with skills and knowledge to engage in meaningful work, and help them contribute positively to the economy of Cross Riverians. My brothers and sisters, development has come to your doorstep. For you and for the country, SAPZ is a game changer, one that will enable Nigeria to diversify its economy with a sustainable source. And I want to thank President Adeshina. Dreams, when persisted, are capable of turning into realities. The stable food crops processing zone was a dream he nurtured when he was the Minister of Agriculture. Institutional inertia, internal contradictions of the system, and competition, unwarranted and unwanted competition for supremacy torpedoed the ship. But he persisted. He persevered. And here we are, 13, 15 years down the line. His dreams is coming to reality. President Adeshina, we are sincerely grateful for your effort. Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, SAPZ has been classified as a priority program in our case to attain food security in Nigeria. Furthermore, it is receiving the policy backing to be institutionalized as an agency of government that will provide an enabling environment to industrialize agriculture across the 36 states of the country. And there is no better time than now for the federal and state governments, development partners, private sector stakeholders, and our communities to work hand in hand to guarantee the success of the SAPZ project in Cross River State. Cross River is indeed lucky to have Senator Basi Edet Otu as your governor. A man filled with vision, with courage to add value to his society. A very forthright man who always calls a spade, not by any other thing but by his name. Governor Otu, we are most grateful for your efforts, for your vision, and for your commitment to the Nigeria project. As a collective, we can create a new height of excellence that can be replicated across the nation, showcasing Nigeria as a leader in agro-industrial processing in Africa. At this point, I would like to take this opportunity to once again express the nation's deep appreciation to all those who have worked tirelessly on this project, from vision to fruition. Your dedication and hard work are the foundation upon which we build our future. In particular, I want to acknowledge and appreciate the great support of our international development partners, the African Development Bank, the Islamic Development Bank, and the International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD, who believe in our vision and are committed to working with us in this endeavor. I must also commend the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security for his leadership in ensuring that all implementation bottlenecks have been removed, and the National Coordinator for his hard work and perseverance in the day-to-day implementation of this program. I wish to sign off by once again paying a special tribute to my friend, the Governor of Cross River State. It remains a critical foundation for the success of this intervention and a great ally in development. This is a program that can succeed, and it will succeed with our cooperation across the board and with the immediate aim of feeding and employing the nation. So today is the dawn of a new era for Cross River State and for Nigeria. I am delighted that this beautiful state, this peaceful state of a very peaceful people, is a front runner in the implementation of the SAPZ program within the South-South region. Thank you, and God bless us all.
Thank you so very much, Your Excellency. At this point, His Excellency the Vice President will proceed for the groundbreaking proper and then unveiling of the plaque. Thank you.
Please, can we just give a small part here? Hello, please, can we give a part for that frequency to travel? We will not hear them. Please, for that microphone. Please, can we give a space? Please, don't close, don't close.
Your